For two parents that came out of Alabama and Mississippi with no more than an eighth grade education, they managed to send all their kids to college. I grew up in a household where the most important thing was a book. Okay, my father always had books. So I grew up appreciating a book. I mean, I will read anything. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter how profane it is. I will read it because I saw them reading books. Okay, all the time. The Bible, you name it, they were reading books. And again, because they were denied the right to an education, coming out of Alabama, Mississippi in the 40s, they impressed upon us education. Open a book, process what you're reading. Talk to me about what you're reading, the dictionary and whatever. So and all of my friends were the same way. Their parents were all from the South for the most part. And again, education. A lot of my friends went to college, like I did. And so, again, the neighborhood I grew up in had some outstanding people. I think the name Lynn Thigpen, the actress, she grew up in my neighborhood. Lionel Richie, went to East with Lionel Richie. I know Lionel doesn't like that, but Lionel was 2 years ahead of me. So we had a lot of famous black people to come out of Joliet that went to my high school or lived in my neighborhood that we interacted with for the most part, back in the day. And again, they were kids that they got an opportunity, and they took advantage of it. They didn't make any excuses that they couldn't do this and couldn't do that. They took the chance and they dared to go through the door. And that's what kids need to do now. Kids need to understand that when they walk in that front door of Joliet Central, Joliet West, or whatever school they go to, it's a door. You're going through it. Take advantage of the opportunity. You may hate the teachers. You may hate the kids you're being there with. But you're not there for them. You're there for your opportunity. Get an education. But probably one of the biggest things kids don't have is a vision. They don't see it. They don't see, in my neighborhood, you had the black lawyer, Raymond Bover, passed away. You had the black policeman. In fact, we had two black policemen. We had a black female policeman. We had a black doctor. We had Reverend Singleton, stayed up the block from me. We had all these prominent people living in our neighborhood that kept us in check. There was nothing you could do in that neighborhood that they didn't know about, for the most part. Nowadays, the black community is fragmented. It's all over the place. And some people ask, well, why is it the case? Well, it's a very simple answer. The black community is fragmented because the black community was not prepared for integration. When integration came, there were some blacks that were ready to go. There were other blacks that were not ready to go. And we had no control over integration. In other words, we integrated into other people's communities, other people's schools, other people's activities. Nobody integrated in ours. It fractured our community. Now, I'm not saying integration was bad, because it wasn't bad. All I'm saying is that we were not prepared for the consequences of uncontrolled integration on our part. Another example would be baseball. When I was a kid, you had a lot of black baseball teams, okay? Great black baseball players back in the day. When Jackie Robinson integrated baseball, the smart thing would have been take a black team, put it in the major leagues. Okay, that way you preserve a little bit of black baseball. Instead, what did they do? They took the black players. When they took all the black players, what happened to the black baseball teams? They all died. Black baseball disappeared. See, black kids now aren't even playing baseball that much anymore.